Hello and welcome back to the Honor Rest and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. And of course, it's a big episode of NXT today because it is the first episode since NXT Deadline, and we obviously had a lot going on there. We had the Iron Survivor Challenge, Trick and Davenport winning that. We had of course, the return of Cora Jade, etc., etc. So there's a lot going on. And we start things off in the women's division with Cora, who taunted the women's locker room until Lyra Valkyrie arrived, and Blair Davenport took offence to Jade taking a spotlight. Nikita Lyons stormed out after the brawl with Davenport, Valkyria, and Lyons sent the heels reading. This was not great, to be honest. Everyone's timing was on the mic. And they all had the same growth and cadence to their promo style. Valkyrie seemed to lose her words when she addressed the heels. Leon's arrived was a welcome respite as she swapped words for action quickly. Her growing feud with Davenport is more interesting than the champ versus either of the heels, to be honest. It was predictable and pretty formulatic way to set up a tag match for later. Hopefully the action is an improvement on this before it's time for Metaphor versus Briggs, Jensen and Henley. Metaphor came into confidence but ended up losing again as a trio. Fallon Tech on Last Legends and Josh Briggs pulled a huge victory over Dar, potentially setting up a future match. It was a fun way that highlighted the country trio has always overachieved under this spotlight. While Briggs and Henley lost at Deadline, they may have finally broken up. The former is looking great with the spotlight on him, while the latter is working at top level with every other woman. If NXT is moving on from the Alpha Academy versus Metaphor, Briggs could be the perfect match challenger for Dar. Fans could not have got a better chance to see what Briggs can do here. So yeah, this was really strong stuff. Gets 6 out of 10 from me, and I'm definitely intrigued by this new feud. Before it's time for Miles Bourne versus Obafemi in the breakout tournament, Miles Bourne tries to wear out the big man, but he was completely outmatched, squashing him with a heightened powerbomb. Typically, the breakout tournament is predictable due to highlighting talent already on TV. However, the only guy regularly on screen was eliminated in the first round. Bourne is a talented performer who should have gone further, but he's also only built up a spot in NXT with Gulak, Dempsey and Kemp. Femi just got a massive win and an immediate push. He will undoubtedly be one to watch. His size, speed and power make him a formidable threat. Yeah, probably one off, if not the favourite to win the tournament. And yeah, looking at him, I don't think you can really complain about that. 6 out of 10 from a good start to this tournament. Before it's time for the North American title, Dragon Lee taking on Tyler Bate in an open challenge. The big strong boy pushed the luchador but could not keep him down. Dragon finished it off with the Operation Dragon. This was a fun battle of veterans. Dragon and Bate are so good that he could never be anything less than very good. They could not sell the drama of the title defence, but in action was more than good enough for an impromptu TV bout. The big strong boys ran out of stories to turn NXT, and I hope he's main roster bound where he can create fresh rivalries. With the Brawling Brits falling apart, it'd be the perfect time to get Butch and Bate together. Leave the young side of NXT to their own, but more Dragon Open challenges will be great. He's an in-room worker, and yeah, I think he'll really bring out the best of NXT, but I also want to keep him present on SmackDown because the stuff he's done on that brand at the same time has been really, really strong too. So yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Good stuff. Before our next match with Dijak versus Eddie Thorpe. Dijak attacked Thorpe on his way to ring. The bell finally rang after 2 minutes of brawling, but it didn't last long. Hard Justice broke the turnbuckle with Thorpe's back and used it as a weapon, causing a DQ. The attack of Dijak continued with a feast your eyes until several officials broke it up. They've already fought in a strap match, yet NXT make the decision to book them in a normal bout after Thorpe cost him a world title opportunity. Logical leap aside, this was selling a reunition of the rivalry, likely setting up an NXT Underground match between these two. While they're committed to this rivalry, they've not had a great match, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes. I was quite taken back by how kind of violent it was with the blood and stuff like that. So I think yeah, they're definitely building up to something big. So I'm going to give it time. An NXT Underground match I wouldn't be opposed to either. So yeah, it gets 7 out of 10 from me. Before it's time for Riley Osborne versus Keanu Carver in the breakout tournament. Osborne took a beating from Carver but refused to quit. He caught Carver with an Enziguri and shooting star press for the win. Carver showed out in this match only to lose in rush fashion at the end. If the plan was to highlight Osborne, the match failed. He can hit a solid shooting star press, but otherwise he just kind of seems a bit generic. Especially with Obafemi advancing, this match set up and immediately dashed the exciting possibility of big two athletes fighting in the next round. Osborne's connection to Chase give him a leg up on a character in the long term. He fits into one of NXT's most over acts, but he has to prove he belongs. So yeah, I thought it was decent, but maybe with the booking, etc., could have just been slightly better to take it out to that 7 level. So yeah, I'm going to give it 6.5 out of 10. But moving on into our main event, Lyra and Nikita versus Cora and Blair. Blair knocked out Lyra with a knee strike. Nikita pulled Davenport out of the ring, but Cora was legal and stole the pin. This was a well-booked tag match, highlighting the two threat Davenport and Jade posed to Valkyrie. It's not all involved in the ring, but they kept the stories moving. NXT has a dangerous balancing act to play with, as these 4 women and NXT do not want to take away from Davenport's Iron Survivor win, but also want to sell the generation of Jade as the next challenger. It's likely Lion will cost Davenport a shot, and the story will fully transition to a rematch of Lyra versus Jade, but the next few weeks will be important towards keeping the momentum of the women's division. I think, this was a lot stronger than the promo beforehand. I thought, this match really worked well. You can see where we're going in the women's division. Gets a 7 out of 10 from me. But to end NXT, Trick Williams and Ilya Dragunov both spoke confidently about their future NXT title match. Carmelo Hayes arrived and blamed the Mad Dragon for attacking him and Trick. Melo tried to take the NXT title away from the Mad Dragon and accidentally hit his friend with it. The drama has gotten steady, but it continues to build Trick each step of the way. Melo looks guiltier than ever before, and Dragunov inclusion leaves Trick conflicted. He's caught between siding with his best pal or his newest pal and has to find a way to refocus ahead of New Year's Evil. The crowd's incredibly invested where it's leading, and this storyline is working, and NXT really needs to continue the momentum of it here, because they've definitely got something here. I'm intrigued to see where it goes. And overall, NXT this week gets 7 out of 10 for me. I think, NXT kind of highlighted by the women's division. Lots going on there. The men's breakout tournament, that was interesting. And of course, that main event angle, which I think, has really got NXT over. Where it's all going to go and play out, it's going to be incredibly interesting. But I think for the first NXT since Deadline, I thought it was a really strong episode. But anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. And that's also for daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. It's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.